This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, one man faces arson charges after police say 2 residences were set on fire Monday, leaving 1 home damaged and another a total loss.
Our Doug Banks brings us those details from Mount Desert.
Officials say 2 separate fires on a private road in Mount Desert were intentionally set on Monday. Those fires left the outside of 1 residence damaged and destroyed another home. According to the state fire marshal's office, local fire departments responded to the 2 fires at 2 separate residential properties off of Stanley Road in Mount Desert. 58-year-old Glenn P. Stanley of Mount Desert Island has been charged with 2 counts of arson in connection to the fires. At this time, there is no clear motive for why Stanley allegedly started the fires. Multiple departments assisted the fire marshal's office, including Bar Harbor Police, Mount Desert Fire and Police, Acadia National Park Rangers, and more. Although not visible from the top of the property line, the second residence is located down and to the left, approximately a half a mile from the start of Stanley Mountain Road here behind me. The fire is still under investigation with the State Fire Marshal's office. Nobody was hurt and nobody was home at the time of the fires. In Mount Desert Island, I'm Doug Banks for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine State Police and Caribou Police are investigating the discovery of a body in Caribou. Maine State Police say the body of a deceased man was located on the bank of the Aroostook River between the dam and Fort Street at about 1 o'clock today. The body will be transported to the office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Augusta, where an autopsy will be performed. No further details are available right now.
2 environmental groups and 1 youth group are suing the state because they say it isn't doing enough when it comes to climate change. Maine Youth Action, the Conservation Law Foundation, and the Sierra Club filed their lawsuit on Friday in state court. The lawsuit says the Maine Department of Environmental Protection is under a, quote, existing and ongoing statutory obligation to reduce emissions and has failed to do so. The lawsuit says the state must enact new rules which cut emissions for cars and trucks to make good on promises made by the Maine legislature in 2019.
Maine's climate law states that the board shall adopt rules to ensure compliance with those greenhouse gas emission targets. And not only does it say that, but those rules must prioritize reducing emissions from the sectors that are the greatest contributors. And here in Maine, that is transportation by a long shot. Transportation contributes about half of greenhouse gas emissions in the state. So basically, the lawsuit says that the department and the board have not done that. They have not adopted rules to ensure that Maine is going to hit its climate targets.
We reached out to the Maine Department of Environmental Protection and were told they do not comment on pending litigation.
Governor Mills has vetoed a bill to establish a minimum hourly wage for agricultural workers that she initially submitted herself. Governor Mills proposed setting the minimum wage for farm workers at $14.15 per hour. That is the same as the state's minimum wage for non-tipped employees. The proposal passed the legislature and appeared headed for enactment. However, Governor Mills vetoed the proposal today over changes lawmakers made to the legislation prior to passing it. Mills said lawmakers amended the bill to allow for privately initiated litigation. She said in her veto message that she preferred to allow the Maine Department of Labor to handle possible violations.
More than 95% of children attending public and private schools in Maine have received the required vaccines. The Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention made that announcement today. It's the first year Maine has exceeded the so-called herd immunity threshold since reporting began in 2011. Herd immunity or community immunity is when most of a population develops immunity from an infectious disease, whether through vaccination or previous infection. Director of the Maine CDC, Dr. Puteri Voss, said, quote, "It couldn't come at a better time, as the United States has already seen more measles cases in the first 3 months of 2024 than in all of 2023. This alarming trend highlights the importance of childhood vaccinations, which reduce the risk that Maine's youngest residents could face harmful and potentially fatal diseases," end quote.
Local Hannaford stores have issued a recall on certain types of ground beef reportedly sold between April 6th and 16th. They say the 80% and 85% lean ground beef sold during this time may be contaminated with E. coli. Over 16 stores in our covered zone have been affected, including all of the stores in Bangor, Brewer, Bucksport, Ellsworth, Millinocket, and more. For a full list of the impacted stores in our area, you can head to our website, foxbangor.com.
Most of us have unused or expired medication somewhere in our homes, and Northern Light Health is offering a way to get rid of them safely. April 27th is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, but you can drop them off any day at locked kiosks just installed at Northern Light Main Coast Hospital in Ellsworth or Northern Light Blue Hill Hospital. Northern Light pharmacies across the state also will take them. Pharmacist Brad Bouchard says most misused medications come from someone in the household. He says turning them in helps prevent that and other problems.
We don't want them getting into waste treatment plants. It helps the environment that way to make sure they're disposed of correctly.
The kiosks do not take illegal drugs or needles. Bouchard says anyone in the community can turn in their unused or expired medication. You do not need to make an appointment. He says all you need to do is bring it in its original container.
A new rent relief program could help Mainers at risk of eviction through the use of monthly vouchers. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard explains more about how this program will also help survivors of domestic violence and abuse.
It's very encouraging when the Maine legislature passes a budget that attends to the real urgent needs of people.
Francine Garland Stark is the executive director for the Maine Coalition to End Domestic Violence. She's talking about a pilot program funded by the recently passed supplemental budget that will give $800 a month housing vouchers to low-income individuals at risk for evictions. Stark says the domestic violence advocacy groups are excited about this as well because it will help survivors of domestic violence get back on their feet.
Being able to have assistance to pay the rent and keep your head above water is really essential. So I think this will make a big difference in the lives of many survivors across the state.
Stark says it's not just survivors of domestic abuse that are in need of housing, but their organizations also don't have the resources to sustain a survivor with long-term housing, which could be a barrier to someone leaving their abuser.
We know, all of us know right now that Maine has a housing crisis where it's difficult to find a place to live, and it's really difficult to have that place be affordable for folks who are working full-time and being paid well.
One main aspect of this program, which will be administered by Maine Housing, is that the vouchers will be paid directly to the landlords. Stark says this is important because abusers will often have control over their victims' finances, including their bank account. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
A huge milestone for the University of Maine Advanced Structures and Composite Center today as they unveiled another world record-breaking 3D printer. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
Today, we will unveil Factory of the Future 1.0.
A momentous day for the University of Maine as the Advanced Structures and Composite Center pulled back the curtain to reveal the world's largest polymer 3D printer. The machine is capable of printing objects up to 96 feet long, 32 feet wide by 18 feet high, and will be programmed to work with Masterprint, the ASCC's previous world record-breaking 3D printer.
This reinforces what an R1 university does and what we do here at the University of Maine, and reaffirms our standing as leaders in composite materials research and advanced manufacturing.
This several million-dollar project is supported by the Office of the Secretary of Defense through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The country's Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering says there is a great need for this work to support national defense.
To be able to develop a product in 1 or 2 days as opposed to God knows how many months, right? And you can do that with additive manufacturing, right? So it's huge where this is headed.
Later this year, the machine will complete a 52-foot-long vessel. University officials say they also hope to address issues such as affordable housing, with plans to develop a fully 3D-printed neighborhood in the next few years.
A multitude of projects that can be potential solutions for us across multitude different manners, right? Across the services. That was really exciting.
The university hopes this will be a national blueprint for the future of large-scale manufacturing. In Orono, Grace Blanchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
really mind-blowing technology. And sometimes I watch some of the innovation that comes out of UMaine, and it's almost hard to wrap your mind around it.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to think of the projects and builds that will come out of this machine, and just another feather in the cap for UMaine, I think.
Can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
Alrighty, folks, let's go ahead and hit pause here. We will peek outside and get a first check of our forecast.
Thank you very much, Beth and Peter. And finally, much warmer temperatures. The winds aren't as bad as yesterday. Still a very gusty wind, but overall, though, look at this. 56 degrees earlier today. We're a little bit cooler by the coast. We had Rockland, Bar Harbor, Machias into those upper 40s to lower 50s. But overall, though, most of the state saw some mid to even upper 50s. Even a couple of spots hit 60 degrees earlier today, so it just felt pretty good. Lots of sunshine out there, though. Things will be changing by tonight into the day tomorrow as we continue to see some increasing clouds. And guess what? More chances of rain. Look at this wind, though. 23-mile-per-hour winds here in town. 16 by Bar Harbor. Rockland's at 16. Machias a little bit less of a breeze, 11 miles per hour, with wind gusts around 25 to even 35 miles an hour at times. So once again, a pretty gusty wind out there for today. Hour-by-hour forecast does show clear skies. A few passing clouds here and there. Overall, though, after midnight, we're going to see some increase in clouds. Temperatures back in the 30s.
Alrighty, Conrad, thank you so much. And coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll take a look at some national headlines,
including the latest on Trump's hush money trial. That story and more when we come right back.
With features you won't find on CR-V, RAV4, or Forester. Only a Tucson compares to a Tucson. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 3.79% APR, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer today.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Long-term care insurance can be expensive, and it is a use-it-or-lose-it policy. Is this still how long-term care works today?
In the traditional sense, when you're buying a traditional long-term care insurance, it's a use it or lose it, like your home insurance. You're paying a premium to your home insurance, and if your house burns down, glad you have it. If your house doesn't burn down and you don't use the insurance, it's use it or lose it, okay? You've paid all those premiums, but you did that.
You're in the driver's seat. You choose what road to take. But soon, you'll be taking a back seat to big government because President Biden just banned most new gas-powered cars. They've made it clear it's their way or the highway, even if electric vehicles aren't right for you or your family. Call Senator King. Tell him to stop the car ban before it's too late. Don'tBanOurCars.com. Paid for by American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers.
With features you won't find on CR-V, RAV4, or Forester. Only a Tucson compares to a Tucson. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 3.79% APR, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer today.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The first witness is back on the stand for another day of testimony in the hush money payment trial of former President Trump. Things also getting combative in the courtroom during a hearing on Trump's alleged violations of the limited gag order in this case. ABC's Rena Roy has more on everything that unfolded today.
David Pecker, a longtime friend of Trump and the former publisher of the National Enquirer, back on the stand testifying that he was the eyes and ears of the Trump campaign ahead of the 2016 election. Pecker testifying that he told Trump and Cohen, if I hear anything about women selling stories, I would notify Michael Cohen.
Of course, what David Pecker is saying on the stand was something Donald Trump never wanted anybody to know. That any time a damaging story came to his attention via other sources or from Donald Trump or Michael Cohen, he was in agreement that he would catch those stories, kill them, pay the person off, and make it go away.
Trump shaking his head in court as Pecker testified about a false story from a Trump Tower doorman in 2015, claiming Trump fathered an illegitimate child with a maid at the building. Pecker testifying he ultimately bought the story for $30,000, even though Michael Cohen was adamant it wasn't true. Prosecutors say Pecker told Trump that adult film actress Stormy Daniels had a story that could turn into a sex scandal. At Trump's direction, prosecutors say his fixer Michael Cohen wired Daniels $130,000, and then, to hide the true nature of the payment, Trump allegedly decided Cohen's reimbursements should be recorded as legal services. Pecker also allegedly promising to publish positive stories about Mr. Trump and publish negative stories about his opponents. Pecker says prior to the election, his magazines never caught and killed any stories for Trump. Trump has denied any sexual relationship with Daniels and has pleaded not guilty to falsifying business records. Trump slamming the case outside of court.
We have a gag order, which to me is totally unconstitutional. I'm not allowed to talk, but people are allowed to talk about me.
And that gag order Trump is talking about, prosecutors have accused him of violating it. The judge held a contempt hearing on Tuesday morning that got heated, ultimately saying he would not rule from the bench. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, it's opening day for a one-of-a-kind hotel at the University of Maine.
And in sports, Orono's Ruth White is entering her final season of a storied high school career. We'll have that right after the break.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
When you start any business, there's a lot of emotions that you feel. Being able to work with a credit union that believed in what we were trying to do has allowed us to grow so quickly. New fermentation tanks, a grain silo, 2 vehicles that we're using. I've always been able to reach the credit union as if they're in the next office over from me. When we started, we had 6 employees. 3 years later, over 50 employees. Every step of the way, the credit union has truly been a part of our team.
At Warren Financial, your financial goals are our priority. Your financial plan may appear to be all about savings and investing, but in reality, it's about much more. Your life, your family, and your legacy. That's why the financial planner you choose is so important.
Plan your future with Warren Financial. Visit warrenfinancialplan.com or call 573-1825.
Your trusted partner in wealth management.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrix material, which is twice as strong as vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything, from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and a superior process.
It's the people.
It's the process.
It's the product.
Call now to get our exceptional signature service. This fantastic offer is available only for a limited time. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in Bangor, located in the Penobscot Plaza, providing custom ink by licensed artists for more than 20 years.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start on the ice with some Maine hockey. If you're following them in the social media world, there's a pretty exciting video posted yesterday that has some big implications on next season. In the video, the Black Bears senior captain Lyndon Breen announces he will be returning to Orono for his 5th and final year of eligibility, which is awesome news, as well as freshman and second leading scorer on the team, Josh Nadeau. Despite Bradley going to the NHL, Josh will be back for his sophomore year. Junior captain David Brazil will be back as well, and junior Harrison Scott is also returning to Orono. All right, let's hit the track now. Orono High School boys and girls track seasons are underway. Both boys and girls are defending champs too, and this spring, one of the Red Riot's all-time greats has her curtain call. Superstar distance runner Ruth White is entering the final season of her illustrious high school career, announcing last week that she is committing to run at New Hampshire after decommitting from Boise State, where she originally was set to go. White says a coaching change was behind her wanting out of Boise, and the prospects both on and off the track at New Hampshire were too great to pass up.
The coaches have consistently been really nice every time I've talked to them and really supportive, and all the girls I've talked to have been really welcoming. There's also a good engineering program, and the coaches are really supportive of the academics.
We had a team meeting at the beginning of practice, and it was announced that Ruth would be going to UNH, and we all applauded. And as being so close to home, we'll get a chance to see her compete, which is really awesome.
And while White's legacy is filled with state titles and records set across cross country and spring track, she wants her legacy to be as someone who left a positive impact on all of those around her. And the team has been inspired both by this and her incredible work ethic.
I hope that people will learn sportsmanship from me and the importance of being kind to your fellow competitors.
How kind she is to everyone. And how much of a hard worker she is. She honestly is one of the hardest working people I know, and I hope that people will remember her for her kindness and her drive.
To the basketball court now, the Celtics back at practice today for some final preparations for Game 2 against the Heat tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Boston looking to take a 2-game series lead over Miami, the team that ended their season a year ago in the Eastern Conference Finals. Already a much different series this time around. Last year, if you remember, Boston fell behind 3-0 before storming back to force a Game 7. So while the situations may be much different, Boston knows this Heat team is still dangerous, and it's still the same old Heat. They are ready for a battle the rest of the round.
They're going to be hungry, desperate. They're going to come out fast, even more aggressive, trying to turn us over, just trying to crash the glass hard, be physical, even more knocking us to the ground, just trying to win that physicality match any way they can. That's what I foresee, but we'll be ready, and we'll be ready to do the same thing.
That should be a good game. That is all the time we have for sports. Here's Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast. Conrad?
Thank you very much, Tyler. Our main weather today is brought to you by Washington County Community College. Discover choices, create success. Don't miss out on free college. And get ready. Look at all this rain in the Midwest, even a couple of thunderstorms into Indiana, Ohio, getting into Pennsylvania now, and that will continue to move east and into our region. Overnight tonight, mainly by tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be that day where you want to make sure you have your umbrella. For now, though, we're seeing lots of sunshine. Same story throughout the day today, and things will be changing overnight, mainly after midnight as we see some increasing clouds. Then by tomorrow morning, that's when that rain starts to arrive, filling in from west to east, and then cooler temperatures will be here very soon. You see this blue on top, that's a little bit of snow mixing in there with that rain, and that will be the case here in Bangor. On the back end, we're talking a few snowflakes mixing in there. Overall, though, no accumulations here in town. North of town, maybe a trace of snow in some spots. Overall, though, this is going to be a little bit more of a rain event. Some snow mixing in on the back end, of course, as those cooler temperatures roll in. Now, rainfall-wise, though, we're not talking anything too heavy. Anywhere around maybe a quarter of an inch of rain. It does look like Machias, Bar Harbor, Rockland, they've been consistently staying at around a tenth of an inch of a rain or a little bit less. So that's what we are looking for. Snowfall-wise, though, like I said, here in town, a few snowflakes mixing in. You got to really go north of town in the most northern parts of the state to get into maybe a trace of a snow or a little bit more right closer to Caribou area. Now, for the winds, we are very gusty out there right now. Overnight, though, we're going to see a little bit lighter winds, but by tomorrow, once again, the winds will crank back up, and we're talking around 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts in the area with the rain, and then some snowflakes on the back end. 57 degrees, that's our average high, so we're going to stay well below that Wednesday into Thursday, near average by Friday. Look at Saturday, mid-60s will be back, and it looks like 60s are going to be sticking around here for a bit into Sunday and once again into beginning of next week. For tonight, though, we are looking at mainly clear skies, a bit of a breeze as well. Not quite as windy as what we're looking at right now. Temperature-wise, though, we're going to be at around 31 degrees. mid-30s in other locations. For tomorrow, though, we're looking at upper 40s. In general, though, increasing clouds very early in the morning hours. Rain will be in the area and a southwest wind gusting up to 20, possibly even up to 30 miles an hour at times in a few spots. Then, our extended outlook does show a little bit of that rain and snow mixing on a Wednesday. Thursday, much better conditions, mostly sunny. Look at Friday, though, near 60 with lots of sunshine. We're talking near 60. Well, we're going to get it by the weekend. Saturday into Sunday, we're looking at low to mid 60s with lots of sunshine on Saturday, more chances of rain by Sunday. Beth and Peter?
Hoping that weekend stays clear.
Yeah, I mean, those temperatures just look divine.
They do, absolutely. Yeah. And there is still more to come, folks. Stay with us.
An important message for Americans age 50 to 85.
Oh my gosh, you're still using Mom's old coffee pot.
It's my inheritance.
Well, it is a family heirloom.
You know what? The kids can just sell it to pay for my funeral.
It's a good thing you have life insurance.
Life insurance with our family history.
Don't you know about Colonial Penn? It's guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance with no medical questions asked.
I'm on a fixed income.
Who isn't?
You have it?
We all do. John, Maria, even Paul with all of his medical problems.
Colonial Penn.
That's right. Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. As you get older, your health may change. Colonial Penn understands that. And we don't think it should keep you from getting life insurance to help protect your family. That's why we guarantee acceptance to everyone aged 50 to 85. No health questions, no medical exam. Applying is easy. And you have your choice of options starting at $9.95 a month, a few dollars a week, 35 cents a day. And your price will never go up. A lifetime rate lock guarantees it. This protection can last a lifetime, too. Some insurance policies end once you reach a certain age. Not this one. Pay your bill, and it's yours to keep for as long as you'd like.
How did you apply?
Called for information, got an application, filled it out, sent it back. It took a few minutes. And look at this. They sent me this free beneficiary planner just for calling. I filled in all my important information and final wishes. Now my kids will have everything they need in one place.
Ready to learn more? Call for free information and your free gift. There's no obligation. Every policy we issue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Why wait? Call now.
Call 1-800-821-7888 for your free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-821-7888. There's no obligation. 1-800-821-7888. Call now.
Vendors had the chance to taste and discuss a wide range of products during the 2024 food show hosted by Dennis Food Service. The company is a distributor servicing restaurants, convenience stores, schools, and other institutions throughout New England. During the food show at the Cross Insurance Center, vendors had the opportunity to sample thousands of different products from around the country and from right here in Maine.
We have local products here. We've got a locally made Culver sausage made in Ellsworth, Maine. We have a goat cheese farm that's local as well. And then we have national brands like Hormel and Smithfield that are here representing with some awesome new products.
Labrie says the annual event serves as a great way to support local food producers by connecting them with new vendors.
And finally tonight, hundreds of UMaine students volunteered their time to fight hunger today during the Maine Day Meal Pack-Out. Students gathered in the Memorial Gym to pack 55,000 meals, which will support 16 local food pantries. The event was organized by students in UMaine's Honors College like Jasper Mikowski.
So we've got two different meals that we're making here today. The first is apple cinnamon oatmeal, and then we're also doing Spanish rice. Both of these are highly nutritious, and what's incredible is that each meal can be prepared for just 37 cents.
To date, the annual event has provided more than 600,000 meals to area food pantries. A great effort and great to see so many students out helping out.
I love to see so many different organizations, groups of individuals, trying to combat food insecurity. It is such a problem here in the state of Maine, and I feel like you can't come at it from enough angles.
You really can.
Yeah.
And great to hear they're benefiting so many different area pantries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC7, take care and have a great rest of your night.
And join us over on Fox 22 News Tonight.